When the news of XXXTentacion's death broke out, everyone assumed that the rapper had been the unfortunate victim of a failed robbery. However, on the 20th of March, 2023, the truth was finally uncovered. XXXTentacion had been murdered in cold blood. All 4 suspects were found guilty. Justice had been served. But now, the rapper's mother's warning to the killer has been making headlines. Stick around to find out her terrifying warning to the murderers. Verdict and sentencing. On the 20th of March 2023, the jury sealed the fates of 3 men after a month-long trial and 8 days of deliberation. Michael Boatwright, Dedrick Williams, and Trayvon Newsom were found guilty of first-degree murder and robbery with a deadly weapon. Each of them was handed down 2 life sentences. Throughout the trial, the suspects showed no remorse for their actions. It just goes to show how cold-hearted the trio is. Michael Boatwright was even bold enough to smile and blow kisses at X's family while in court. This was disturbing to watch, especially for X's family. While on the witness stand, Penelope Jones, XXXTentacion's grand aunt, shared her grief, saying,
Jassé was loved by his family and friends all over this world, and you guys murdered him and left a gaping hole in each person's heart.
X's grand aunt could not hide her delight at the case's outcome. Although older people are known to sympathize with young men, it was different this time. Ms. Jones expressed disgust at the trio's conduct during the court proceedings. She told reporters that every time she would attend court and glanced over at the 3 murderers, they did not show any remorse for their actions. According to her, they constantly smirked, especially Boatwright. While on the witness stand before the verdict was read, X's grand aunt said, "You guys showed no empathy to the family you destroyed with your evil, callous deeds. Whatever time you're given and whichever hole to which you're sent, I hope it is hell and you rot there." Boatwright was the one that fired the shots that ended the famous rapper's life. Why would he act that way when he was the cause of all this? Had he resigned to the fact that his goose was cooked? Or was this guy just crazy? I think he knew his time was up. There was no way he could be found not guilty. There was overwhelming evidence against the trio. The most damning evidence was a confession by one of his accomplices, Robert Allen. In exchange for the premeditated first-degree murder charge being dropped, Allen pleaded guilty to the second-degree murder of XXXTentacion and armed robbery. He was required to testify against the other 3 defendants in a deal with the district attorney. He testified against the 3 accomplices on day 2 of the trial on February 8th, 2023. There is speculation that Allen only testified to get a lighter sentence. In his words, Allen told the court, "Well, I definitely would like to get a lighter sentence, yes, but I definitely have remorse. I mean, I sit and look at the stand and see people crying, and I'm trying to do my best to get his family and friends and his fans justice." There was speculation that Allen agreed to testify because his co-defendants' behavior after the incident may have proved that they were really not his friends. Imagine that after a heist that could see you sentenced to a life sentence in prison, your accomplices refused to give you an equal share of the loot because they believe you played a minor role. Well, that's exactly what happened to Allen. After the robbery and murder, they got away with the gold chain and about $50,000 in a Louis Vuitton bag. According to the court testimony at first, Newsom and Williams said Allen shouldn't get any of the loot because he appeared to have the least role in the robbery and murder. The only thing that Allen did was enter Riva Sports and positively identify XXX. However, Boatwright demanded that Allen get some money because he was there with them. They settled on a division of the $50,000 as follows: $15,000 for the 3 main participants and $5,000 for Allen. Allen must have felt betrayed. Here he was with people he thought were his close friends, people who, without him, they would not have carried out the heist in the first place. What makes the situation sad is that he was going to get the same sentence as them, even though he did less in terms of committing the crime, and even received less cash than the other 3. If this was the case, then Allen might have made the right move by testifying. Clearly, there's no honor amongst thieves. Allen is set to receive his sentence on April 12th. Back to Boatwright. His behavior in court did not go well with X's manager, Solomon Sabande. In a press statement after the verdict was read, X's manager said, "In June 2018, XXXTentacion's family received a gut-wrenching call informing them that their loved one was taken. Taken is a passive way to put it. Our loved one, Jassé Onfroy, was murdered. XXXTentacion's life was cut short at the tender age of 20. He was on the journey of becoming a man and leaving the world a better place than he found it." XXX's manager had to sit in the same room with the rapper's killers and was disgusted by their conduct. In his press statement, he said, "We sat through the entire trial without seeing the defendants displaying an ounce of remorse for taking Jassé's life, smiling at us, blowing kisses, waving, without even taking into consideration that not only did they kill a son, but they killed a father." Another important piece of damning evidence may have sealed the trio's fate, hence their disturbing behavior during the court proceedings. Tenell Carter's testimony. In most cases, lovers are seen as protectors of people's deepest secrets. Well, that was not the case with Tenell Tenell Carter, Dedrick Williams' ex-girlfriend. Williams had confided in his girlfriend the events that unfolded the day XXX was murdered. However, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Tenell and Williams broke up, making Tenell bold enough to come forward and testify against her ex. On the 7th day of the trial, Tenell Carter took the stand. What she revealed was damning. According to the young lady, Drake and the other celebrities that were named as having a beef with X had nothing to do with the murder. We will come back to Drake later, as his name caused a lot of controversy throughout the course of the trial. Tenell Carter confirmed that she was told by Williams himself that he was present for the robbery and murder. The prosecuting attorney asked her, "Dedrick Williams actually told you that he was present during the robbery and the homicide of Jahseh Onfroy, did he not?" "Yes, ma'am," she responded. She also confirmed that Williams told her he saw the robbery by the accused shooter, Boatwright, and the gunman, Newsom. She also told the court that Williams had told her that he knew the co-defendants personally. A shocking detail that she revealed is that Williams had told her that the incident was not supposed to go down like that. It seems the gunman who killed X went against the robbery plan and committed murder. "And he told you he knew them personally?" asked the prosecuting attorney. "Yes, ma'am," she responded. Drake connection. Following Tenell Carter's confession, Drake, as well as other rappers, were left out of the case. Drake was on the long list of rappers that had an ongoing feud with XXX before his death. Other rappers included Chicago rapper 600 Breezy, Tekashi 6ix9ine, Joe Budden, and members of the iconic rap group Migos. However, Drake stood out because of the social media post that XXX had put up months before his passing. X posted, "If anyone kills me, it was at Champagne Poppy. I'm snitching right now," although he later deleted the post and claimed his account had been hacked. The damage was already done. Everyone in the industry suspected Drake of putting a hit on XXX. Another incident that might have caused hip-hop fans to suspect Drake of XXX's murder was 600 Breezy claiming that Drake had indirectly given him the go-ahead to deal with X. 600 Breezy, a drill rapper and notorious Chirac soldier, was soon involved in a beef between X and Drake. Having been part of Drake's More Life mixtape, the rapper came to Drake's defense. While addressing the beef between Drake and XXX via a social media recording that DJ Academics reshared, Breezy advises XXX to focus more on his music career. He even praised X, saying, "He has a good-ass fan base, especially where he's from. They riot for that man." At that time, Breezy was confined to his home state because of legal issues. However, the rapper revealed that he'd soon have the freedom to travel, at which point he'd be prepared for an encounter with XXX. Breezy also confirmed that Drake had already given him permission to confront X. "Anytime I ask my homie Drake, can I get on somebody's ass? He always say no," said Breezy about his past attempts to ask Drake to let him handle his dirty work. In XXX's case, Drake allegedly had a different response. And this time, he just gave me a shrug like, "It's whatever, cause he tweaking. That's all I need," said Breezy. In an attempt to shift suspicion from their main suspects, defense attorneys tried to take advantage of those incidents to implicate Drake. The lawyers attempted to subpoena Drake for a deposition. They referenced X's infamous Instagram tweet claiming Drake would kill him due to their ongoing beef. They also claimed that authorities had not investigated the lead, noting that hip-hop was notorious for beefs that often escalated to murder. The law asked the court, "Do you think any detective has ever asked Drake or anybody like that?" No, they never did that. The defense attorney alleged that Drake had close ties to several people with gang affiliations, which would have made it easy for him to order XXX's death. One such individual was Hassan Ali. On a popular podcast hosted by DJ Academics, Hassan Ali claimed he was Drake's shooter. The lawyer also pointed to Drake's lyrics after XXX's death, which seemed to refer to the late rapper. In one such song, on BS, Drake sings, "I never put no pieces on the beef until we end this shit. I pay $500,000 for his soul. He my nemesis." In another song, I'm Upset, Drake sings, "50,000 on my head is disrespect," which fans believe referenced XXX's withdrawing $50,000 in cash before he was shot dead. Drake's lawyers hit out at the allegations, saying, "In a case such as this, it is both unreasonable and oppressive to subpoena an out-of-state party who has not been mentioned in any reports, any investigation, or reference to have any involvement in this matter. Based on the evidence so far provided in this case, there is video that purports to show the defendants allegedly as participants in the murder of the victim. No evidence has been provided to substantiate the assertion that Graham in any way contributed to, had knowledge of, or participated in the alleged incident, and to mandate that he appear for deposition for something he very clearly has no relevant knowledge of is unreasonable." The judge was also quick to catch on to the defense team's efforts of dragging someone else into the case when it was clear they had nothing to do with the crime. At this point, it appears to me nothing more than harassment of someone. You're now just trying to drag someone in who is a celebrity. Mother's reaction. For most people, we may never understand the pain mothers feel when they lose their children. However, the hurt is open for the world to see. That was the case with X's mother, Cleopatra Bernard. Having had only 2 children, XXX and his brother, Aiden, she was heartbroken. Exactly 1 month after her son was murdered in cold blood, she took to Instagram to share her feelings. She posted, "Today is a month since you left, and I still can't wrap my head around it. It gets harder every day, but I will never allow your name to die. I love you with all my heart, and I miss you beyond words. LLJ." In a radio interview on 99 Jams, Cleopatra was asked what she remembered about the day her son was murdered. Her response tells it all.
I would say it's the worst day of my life. You know, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Like, for a mother to lose, and I didn't just lose him, the world lost him, his fans lost him. It was a huge loss.
XXX's mother was clearly unimpressed by her son's killer's behavior at the trial. She let her feelings known after the verdict was read and after the trio was sentenced. After the 3 were found guilty of first-degree murder, she took to Instagram to share her feelings on the case's outcome. She posted a story saying, "You finally got justice, Ja." It is important to note that the case took 5 long years to reach this moment. Her post expressed relief because the family could now get closure. One netizen also expressed the frustration that the case had ended so long, yet the evidence was clear as day, saying, "Why did this take 5 years to happen? I get there's a lot of court cases happening in the US all at once, but it just baffles me when such obvious open and shut cases take so long to go anywhere." She then posted another story where she wore a t-shirt with her son's face and captioned it, "I made sure you were present in the room." When the judge announced that XXX's killers would be spending the rest of their lives behind bars, she did not hesitate to let the world know what that meant to her. She took to Instagram where she posted an article with the story of the prison sentence. She captioned the story saying, "God is good." She did not stop there. In an interview with TMZ, she said she believed the sentence was more than appropriate, given her son was murdered at just 20 years old. It is clear that no one was impressed with Boatwright's conduct during the court proceedings. His blowing a kiss at XXX's family did not go well with anyone, especially Cleopatra. XXX's mother did not have kind words for the trio. In fact, the 3 convicts ought to be terrified by what she said. To Boatwright, who taunted her throughout the trial by blowing her kisses, she said that she hopes he gets that kiss he wants so bad. A XXX fan on the internet had the same reaction, posting, "Let's see if he blows kisses to those men in prison." Cleopatra also has some words for the 2 convicts. She told TMZ, "My hope for these other gentlemen is that they will retain a firm grasp on the slippery soap." This is in reference to an episode of the popular animation The Boondocks, where they reveal that intimates get sexually assaulted in prison showers, especially after they drop their soap when taking a shower. First, it was clear that XXX's mother did not wish them a pleasant stay in prison. Apart from that, she also believed that they will be targets while in jail, who will always sleep with one eye open. Cleopatra continues to ensure that her son is never forgotten, as promised. She still posts him and his music on her social media pages. Girlfriend's reaction, without even taking into consideration that not only did they kill a son, but they killed a father. Those were XXX's manager's words after the verdict was reached. Although XXX left his mother and brother behind, he had also left a child. His 4-year-old boy, Gekume, was now under the sole custody of his mother. Genesis Sanchez, the mother of XXX's child, also spoke out after the conviction. Genesis stated that justice was served. However, she empathized that neither she nor their 4-year-old son Gekume would ever truly have peace. Just like XXX's mother, Genesis also took to Instagram to express her feelings about the case's outcome. "After 5 long years, you may finally rest in peace. Gekume will never get to meet you Earthside, but it is my job as a mother to ensure I share those special memories with him. Ja was robbed of his life, and Geki was robbed of his father. For this, I will never truly have complete peace. But justice being served today helps the healing process," she posted on her Instagram story. To X's fans, she wrote, "Thank you for all the love and support. I am eternally grateful for all the supporters. Your positivity and prayers have carried these last 5 years." She had finally gotten closure, but their child would grow up without his father. Judge's words. If you thought that XXX's mother's words were harsh, wait till you hear what the judge had to say to the 3 criminals. Honestly, Judge Michael Usan's words cut deep. I'm sure they weighed heavily on the trio's hearts and souls, even though they did their best to hide it. First, the judge expressed his frustration with the legal system. According to him, murder cases are always difficult because they never end with true justice. "If I were able to get justice, I would bring him back, but I can't do that," the judge lamented. Then, like a disappointed parent, he lambasted each defendant for their role in XXX's murder. For Trayvon Newsom, Judge Usan noted that he was the perfect example of why people who participate in a crime that ends with murder get the charge even if they didn't pull the trigger. It is important to remember that although Newsom held a gun at X, he did not shoot. The plan may have even been to rob the rapper and flee. However, since Boatwright pulled the trigger, Williams and Newsom would pay with their lives. Remember, Newsom was even hesitant at some point and wanted out of the heist. However, he let peer pressure get to him, and now he's facing lifetime behind bars. The judge also called out Newsom for lashing out at Robert Allen for testifying. According to a deputy transporting inmates to and fro court, Newsom had lashed out at Allen, accusing him of working with the white man.
I heard him say, maybe he's working for the police, you're the po-po, you're working for the white man now.
Judge Usan told Newsom, perhaps your anger should be directed behind you, at your co-defendants, the one who selected the target and the one who turned a robbery into a murder. They're the ones that you can thank for your predicament beyond your actions. To Boatwright, the judge said he did not end one life the day he took the shot. He ended 5. The judge then turned to Williams, who he said should bear responsibility for picking XXXTentacion as the target and tailing him on the day of the slaying. It's also important to note that Williams played a huge role in convincing Boatwright and Newsom to participate. According to Allen's confession, Boatwright and Newsom grew cold feet and did not want to go on with the plan. Williams then mocked the pair relentlessly, calling them cowards until they gave in to his wishes. Since Allen and Williams had been caught on camera near the target at Riva Motorsports, he picked Boatwright and Newsom as the shooters. It's sad to think that peer pressure robbed 5 young men of their future. That's why Williams would get the same punishment as those who held XXX at gunpoint. Judge Usan was also disgusted at Williams for showing little value for human life. In a video that detectives claim was taken after the murder, Williams is seen dancing and flashing the money. To further demonstrate his inhumane nature, Williams took another video, this time in a car, fanning dollar bills and smiling. In a third video, Williams is filmed standing on a bed flaunting money. It was also revealed that he spent X's money on buying shoes later. During the trial, the prosecuting attorney showed footage of the 3 defendants hours after X was killed, dancing and flaunting $100 bills. The prosecutor referred to them as calculated predators. The prosecutor had this to say about the trio. This is who they are. This is their real killers that within 24 hours after shooting the victim dead and stealing $50,000 from him, this is what they do. Look at how happy they look. Look at how excited they look. The judge said, while you were dancing on that bed, throwing down those bills, you weren't throwing money down on that floor. You should think of that as tossing down the days, weeks, and months of your life. However, the defense tried hard to persuade the jury that this was not the case, that they were not bragging, nor were they happy because of XXX's death. According to their defense, this was just a normal social media post by a bunch of young people enjoying life. Do you hear anybody bragging? No. You hear music. You see these guys doing stupid stuff with money, flashing it. If you go on the internet and look for people flashing money, you're going to see hundreds of people flashing money. It doesn't mean anything, not unless you can link it to Trayvon Newsom, knowing he's participated in a murder and robbery and he's flashing the money. The evidence doesn't support that, argued Newsom's lawyer. The defense attorney's main argument for their client's innocence was the lack of DNA evidence. According to the lawyer, the absence of DNA evidence proves that the men are innocent. One of the lawyers said, whoever XXXTentacion struggled with is not in this courtroom. The DNA proves that someone not named Michael Boatwright or Trayvon Newsom participated in this murder. The defense also dismissed Allen as reliable since he stood to gain immensely by testifying. Since he was a criminal, he would easily rat out his friends to get a lighter sentence, even if they had not committed the crime. The judge did not hold back in his final statement to the trio. He said, life in Florida prison is like the line in Hotel California. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. One day, they'll come and open up that cell in the morning and you'll have passed on. Only on that day will you have served your sentence. It is sad to see young black men lose their lives because of crime. However, justice must be served, and the 4 criminals had it coming.